The MBTA commuter rail is finally being electrified. Kind of. A few months ago, the agency announced its plans to start running battery electric trains on the Fairmount Line beginning in 2028, and we need to talk about it. Hey there, this video is sponsored by me, or should I say you, the viewer. All new for 2025, members of the channel get early access to my videos in addition to exclusive railfanning content and updates. If you want access to this exclusive club, consider joining. It's only $1 a month, and it helps me make content just like this. This is the MBTA Fairmount Line, also known as the Dorchester branch. Running 9 miles between Boston's South Station and Reedville, it serves the densely populated neighborhoods of South Boston, Dorchester, and Hyde Park. Despite it being the shortest commuter rail line, it's the only one to not only recover to pre-pandemic ridership numbers, but it's actually surpassed those numbers with an overall 30% increase in ridership from 2019 to 2025. This leaves the Fairmount Line as one of the fastest growing commuter rail lines not only in Massachusetts, but in North America, and as such, the MBTA has begun to explore options to convert the Fairmount Line from a twice-hourly commuter rail route to a modern zero-emissions rapid transit line. So in the summer of 2024, the MBTA Board of Directors approved a plan to convert the Fairmount Line from a conventional diesel-powered commuter rail line to zero emissions with improved schedules and modern electric trains. In order to save time and money, however, instead of installing expensive overhead wires on the Fairmount Line, EOS, the company who operates the commuter rail, plans to order battery electric multiple unit trains which are still 100% electric while being capable of operating without overhead wires. Instead of electrifying the full 9 miles, 2 charging stations will be built at Boston South Station and Reedville, the former of which is already electrified by Amtrak. This project is expected to save just over 1.5 million gallons of diesel fuel per year and reduce the commuter rail's yearly carbon dioxide emissions by just shy of 18,000 tons, all while at the same time increasing train frequencies on the line to every 20 minutes and freeing up conventional trains for other lines. In January of 2025, EOS released an official request for proposals in search of 7 battery electric multiple unit trains to be built between 2027 and 2029, with the first entering service in mid-2028. Based on renderings from an earlier request for information by EOS, 3 potential builders could be in the running, those being French manufacturer Alstom, German manufacturer Siemens, and Swiss manufacturer Stadler. Alstom's design is a single-level multiple unit, which appears to be a streamlined variant of the Odysseus coaches ordered by CT Rail. Siemens renderings are a bit of a departure from the multiple unit design, with a dual-mode charger locomotive attached to trailer cars capable of capturing electricity and presumably storing it in batteries. Finally, Stadler's rendering returns to the multiple unit design with what is clearly a KISS multiple unit as seen on Caltrain, albeit with a modified locomotive of sorts filled with batteries. Obviously, there's only so much that can be speculated based off renderings alone, but it's likely that a manufacturer will be chosen by the end of the year. In the meantime, as is the case with most capital projects, all developments are under a metaphorical cone of silence until the contract is awarded. So what's the problem? The Fairmount Line is well on its way to becoming a modern zero-emissions commuter rail line, complete with 20-minute headways and brand new trains. Well, honestly, I don't have too many issues with the Fairmount Line project. Battery electric trains, while not yet a proven technology, are still much better than diesel-powered trains and can easily become fully electric if wires are installed further down the line, no pun intended. Where I do take issue with this project, however, is the fact that the Fairmount Line is the first commuter rail line to be electrified. Of course, the Fairmount Line is growing at a rapid pace and should certainly be electrified, but I can't help but wonder why the MBTA chose to electrify it before the Providence Line. Providence-Stoughton Line is by far the busiest commuter rail line on the system, with almost 20,000 riders daily. More importantly, the Providence-Stoughton Line, excluding the 4-mile Stoughton branch, has been electrified for more than 25 years. Since the year 2000, Amtrak has been running electric trains between Boston and Washington, D.C., and somehow, in the last quarter century, the MBTA hasn't taken advantage of the existing infrastructure to run its own electric trains. Now obviously, if it were as easy as just buying some electric locomotives, the MBTA probably wouldn't be running diesels under the wires right now, but alas, there's a little bit more that would have to be done. For starters, the MBTA would have to work out a deal with Amtrak to use its electric infrastructure, which would take some time and likely necessitate some upgrades to substations to handle the added power demands of commuter rail trains. More importantly, the sidings used by commuter rail trains for station stops at Attleboro, T.F. Green Airport, and Wickford Junction would have to be electrified, as well as the layover yards in Boston and Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Still, compared to building new charging stations, a light maintenance facility, and ordering new battery electric trains, all for a line with 1/5 the ridership, electrifying the Providence Line, even just between Boston and Providence, seems like a no-brainer. From a political standpoint, it makes sense that the MBTA is hesitant to electrify. Electrification is super expensive, and it can be hard to convince the public that it's worth spending tax dollars on. That's why it's so baffling to me that instead of starting with what's probably the cheapest and most obvious electrification project in the country, the MBTA is choosing to get battery trains for the Fairmount Line first, which will have a comparatively tiny impact on the traveling public to electrifying the Providence Line. That being said, it's been proven countless times around the world, and just recently with the Bay Area's Caltrain, that the benefits of electrification go far beyond decreased local train emissions. Within the first 3 months of implementing electric service on its San Francisco to San Jose line, Caltrain saw a 40% increase in ridership compared to the year before. Electric trains are cheaper to operate in the long run, can accelerate and decelerate faster than their diesel counterparts, making for shorter trips, and are significantly more reliable than diesel trains, and oftentimes, as is the case with the Fairmount Line, lead to an increase in service. It's exciting to see that the MBTA is beginning the process of modernizing and decarbonizing its lines, but the state still has a long way to go. Obviously, in the next few years we'll see the Fairmount Line transform from a conventional commuter rail line into a perfectly competent zero-emissions regional rail service, but at the same time we can only hope that the other lines get some attention too. As of 2025, the MBTA actually has made some progress on upgrading the Providence Line, with wires being installed on Track 3 at Attleboro in late 2024. That being said, the MBTA currently has no concrete plans to get rid of diesels on the Providence Line, which is crazy to me. If the MBTA acquired some second-hand electric locomotives and installed wires in the layover yards, they could begin electrified service between Boston and Providence in a matter of months, and yet as of now they choose not to. In 2019, the MBTA's Fiscal and Management Control Board approved a plan to begin electric service on the Providence Line, as well as to install wires on the Fairmount Line and portions of the Newburyport-Rockport Line, beginning the process of electrifying the entirety of the MBTA commuter rail over the next 20 years. Half a decade later, despite these plans outlining the lease of electric locomotives from Amtrak and the procurement of electric multiple units, little to no progress has been made aside from the Fairmount Line, which won't even be fully electrified as planned. For the MBTA, electrification is now not just a modernization project, but can also be considered a basic maintenance project. According to this MBTA Regional Rail Modernization update from about a year ago, half of the MBTA's locomotive fleet, consisting of aging F40s and GP40s, will reach the end of their useful service life starting around 2031. The oldest units, built back in the 1970s and 80s, are already on their third or fourth major overhaul, with diminishing returns in reliability and critical structural issues like corrosion making further life extensions impractical. Given that the procurement process for new locomotives, whether diesel or electric, takes at least 5 years to go from order to revenue service, decisions have to be made now to ensure replacements are ready when these aging units are finally retired. Right now is the best opportunity the MBTA has ever had to electrify its commuter rail network. Instead of investing in another generation of diesel locomotives that'll be outdated before they even enter service, the agency should be transitioning to electric locomotives. Keyword, transitioning. Obviously, electrification can't be done overnight, so that's where the dual-mode locomotive comes in. Unlike battery electric trains, which are only now entering the American market, dual-mode locomotives, capable of running on both diesel and electric power, have been around since the mid-1950s. Two notable modern examples are the Alstom ALP45DP and the Siemens SC42DM, both of which are operated by the MBTA's neighbors. With an order of dual modes, the MBTA could continue to operate as it does now with diesel trains in non-electrified territories, while adding electrified service on the Northeast Corridor, even running off-wire at stations such as TF Green Airport and Wickford Junction. This would prepare the MBTA to go fully electric, replacing aging locomotives that would be phased out regardless, while still allowing for conventional diesel operations on non-electrified lines. Hopefully 2025 will see the resumption of electrification efforts system-wide. If the new wires installed in Attleboro, and of course the Fairmount Line decarbonization project are a sign of anything, big things are coming in the next few years, so stay tuned. If you want to stay up to date on MBTA modernization and other developments in the passenger and freight rail industry, be sure to stay tuned for my news series, Railroad Quarterly. And before I go, I just want to say a huge thank you for 25,000 subscribers. If you told me I'd be here when I started this channel back in middle school, I wouldn't believe you. So a huge thanks to those who've been here from the beginning, and of course to those who joined recently, welcome aboard. If you'd like early access to videos and exclusive updates, as I said earlier, consider joining the channel membership program for just $1 a month. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.